Bots and Books fans? This is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be going back in time. Back before the movies, before the cartoon, and even back before the comic book. For tonight, we are going to be traveling back to 1983, and we are going to see the very first sketchings of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or what will one day become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we all know and love. With the 40th anniversary of the Ninja Turtles being out, there has been a lot of attempts at doing some earlier versions of the Turtles, but these are going to be the definitive, original Turtles. So let's take a look at this awesome packaging. Now, this is a 2-pack from Neca. You have Nickelodeon up here. You have Neca. You can see the first Turtles in the packaging, and I can't tell you if it's Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, or Raphael, because this was before they even had any idea of what their names were going to be. These were just sketches in their imaginations. Actually, I think they started with Michelangelo, but I'm not sure. Alright, on the box you have Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a nice drawing of the two. You have the first Turtles black and white variant by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Now, why this says black and white variant is because this is technically the variant of the colored versions. So last year on the Neca store and at Comic Cons around the country, these figures were released all green, but they still had the red bandanas. But these figures being what they are, I think the best way to have these figures is in black and white, because these are supposed to be sketches. So in my opinion, this is the best set. Alright, take a look at the top of the box. You have Nickelodeon, Warnings, Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On the side of the box, you have Nickelodeon, Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You have a drawing of the guys again. He is 29 in this series. Neca. Coming to the other side of the box, you have the Nickelodeon symbol, 40th anniversary of the Ninja Turtles, and you have a full-on view of the Turtles in their drawings. At the bottom, you have Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again. Coming to the bottom of the packaging, you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo from Nickelodeon. You have everybody responsible for this packaging and the figures in the box. And you have an awesome barcode and some more credits for the box, and that is really neat. Coming around to the back of the packaging, you do have a few product shots here where it says "Meanwhile," and then over here you have "To Be Continued" with some other figures in the line. So this is an interesting way of doing their packaging when it comes to the comic book version Turtles. These figures have been released, some of them, and some of them are still coming. I guess, of course, by now I think all of these have been released, but I don't collect the comic book Turtles in general, just on special occasions. So anyway, that is going to be the packaging. I don't want to see these awesome Turtles in the packaging. I know you don't, so let's get them out and see how shell-shocked they really are. And here you have the first Turtles out of the packaging. And out of the packaging, they come with a lot of accessories that any good Ninja Turtle should have. And they also have this cool little backdrop that comes packaged in the box. And it is the front of a building and a street scene with a lamp post. And I think if you have some photography skills, you can zoom in real close and then just have them sitting there. It looks like they're on the street, and that is really neat. I like that. All right, now, like I said, they could be any of the 4 Turtles that we all know and love: Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael. But when it comes to the specific Turtles, this big fella over here is going to be Kevin Eastman's first attempt at drawing a Ninja Turtle. And he will come in at 5 3/4 inches tall. And this fella here is going to be Peter Laird's attempt to draw a Ninja Turtle. And he is going to be 5 1/4 inches tall. Now, what I will do to keep them in some semblance of order and help remember which creator drew which turtle, I will call this one Peter and this one Kevin. So that's how we will distinguish them from now on in this review. Kevin and Peter. And since I can only look at one at a time, when we have two awesome turtles. I am going to start with Peter the Turtle. And coming in real close on Peter Turtle's head sculpt, it is really nicely done. It's nice and round. You do got a lot of awesome tune lines in here. I like that. He has a beautiful red bandana coming over his eyes, coming to the back, where it's tied into a knot right here, and coming down on different sides. And then you have it coming forward over across his nose. Let's zoom out so we can actually see that. And the nose does come down and the bandana goes fold over it. That is neat. Have a little mouth down here at the bottom of the head and more tune lines here at the side. I like it. This does remind me of what a Ninja Turtle's face should look like, and I could see that Peter Laird had this concept down really well. Coming down to his neck, it's very long, and you do got some nice tune lines on that. I like it. Coming around to the back, you still got some more lines and detail in there. I like that. Coming to the shell, now this is a very nice shell. Let's zoom out so we can see. Wow, this is really neat because you do get molded detail in here, and you got the little spots here. It makes it feel rugged and ridges, and that you have the different sections of the shell. It's not just one type. You got the smaller parts cutting into the side here and the bigger sections here. This is a very good, very detailed, broken up shell with different parts. I love this shell. Coming around to the front, you do have your front shell section. It is broken up into 8 different parts. They're small. It kind of gives him a thin look. He's very thin and tall. You do have some nice line work on the edges of the shell here. Coming down to his arms. Arms are just, long, and you do get some tune lines in there, and then you have what appears to be a bracer, because I think it's a little thick for a span, but that could just be how they were making it. Coming down to some hands. The hands are big, and you have claws at the end of them. The fingers aren't really defined, so it's kind of hard to say that he can hold things, but there is an alternate hand that he can actually hold the weapon, so we'll just switch that out. Moving to the sides, you do get a little bit of tune lines here going up and down the side. That is cool. And coming to the legs, legs are broken up into a couple parts. You got an upper leg here with some tune lines, a lower leg, and then the feet. Again, like the hands, are not really defined as toes, but they are a little wider than the fingers, and you got the sharp claws there. And then in the midsection here, you do have his tail sticking out, and that will come around to the back. So yes, that is a tail, everybody, and that's what it's always been. Coming to the bottom of the feet, you do get some copyright here and some peg holes if you want to kind of stand him somewhere. So yeah, it's a very neat designed turtle. I like the detail in it. The shell, especially around the back, and all the details here, the different sections and the way it's molded. It feels really cool. All right, and that is what Peter Turtle is going to look like. Moving on. And for Peter Turtle's articulation, start at the head. The head can go around 360 degrees. You can wiggle left, you can wiggle right, it can move up and down all over this neck joint. It's really cool, and you got a lot of wiggly waggly there. The back of the bandana can move around 360 degrees at the tie, so that is really neat. You can put that wherever you want. The neck can bend forward and backward, left and right, and it can go around 360 degrees if you're so inclined to move it that way. You don't really need to, but you can do it. And coming down to his arms can come up from the body and then back down. Shoulders go around 360 degrees. There is no bicep rotation, but you will come down to a nice 90-degree elbow bend. That is cool, and that is built into a forearm rotation, 360 degrees there. Coming to his open hand, and that can go around 360 degrees. And the hand is hinged, so it can come in and out, up, or down depending on where you have it hinged. There is no articulation in the center of the body. It's just a solid piece, so there's no waist or ab crunch there. Coming down to the legs can come up a little bit, back a little bit, but they are going to be hindered because they are stuck between the shell. You're going to have a lot more side movement there with the leg. If you want that, you do have 360-degree thigh rotation. That is cool. Coming down to a knee bend, and the knee bend is pretty much 90 degrees if you want that, and that is built into a lower leg boot cut or leg rotation, 360 degrees there. Coming down to your foot, when the foot is hinged, it can go up, it can go down, and it can rock around the world 360 degrees. So that is cool. And finally, coming to the middle of the turtle, his tail is articulated. It can go around 360 degrees, and you do get a little wiggly waggly up and down. So yeah, that is going to be Peter Turtle's articulation. Not too bad for not having a middle part of your body that can move. All right, moving on. And now that we've taken a look at Peter Laird's turtle, let's move over to Kevin Eastman's monster turtle. And this guy is just a huge beast of a turtle. I mean, wow, look how big this guy is compared to the Peter Laird turtle. You can bring him in, and whereas the Peter Laird turtle here was tall and skinny, the Kevin Eastman turtle is thick and built like a tank. So yeah, there's a lot of difference here between their two turtle designs. So starting off with the head of the Kevin Eastman turtle, now it's just basically round. You do have some more defining features in the eyes. They're not just triangles. You actually have molded eyes in there and little holes for the turtle to look through, and it's more of an actual mask. You got some nice line detail on the bandana. That is really nice. You got some line work up here at the top of the head. The mask again is a little wider, and there is no definitive nose on Kevin Eastman's turtle, but that's okay. Coming down, you do have a big thick neck, a lot of dark tune lines here. Coming around to the back, the shell is what you would mostly expect from the today's standard Ninja Turtles. It's more of a solid piece, not as detailed as the Peter Laird turtle shell, but you know, it still has some neat designs about it. It's very thick, very good molded detail in there, and I like the line work of it. Coming around to the front, you don't have as many front sections on the Kevin Eastman turtle as you did on the Peters. You do have 6 sections here, so he took out 2 different sections and made them more wide as opposed to tall. So that is really neat. These arms are just huge. They come down to the forearms and the huge hands, again, not as defined as hands, and it would be kind of hard to hold something like this, but this is an open palm, so he does have fisted hands that they have articulated to be able to put weapons in and stuff. But here you have your elbow pads and your wristband, so you get that in this turtle. No belt on this one. There was no belt on the Peter turtle either. Coming down, he does have some big, thick, trunk-like legs. Now, there is no knee. You have your knee pad here, and that just goes straight down to your foot, which is massive, very thick. This guy has got some weight to him. He also has a tail in the middle right here, so that is really cool. Details on the side, you just got some line work in there. And yeah, this is a beautifully done turtle, very big, very massive, and I like both of these turtley designs. But you can see definitely when I bring in the Peter Laird turtle, where a lot of different designs came from both of these to combine to get what we know and love today as our standard Ninja Turtle. So that is really neat. Take a look at both of these together. Yeah, very cool. All right, let's take a look at Kevin's articulation. And taking a look at Kevin Turtle's articulation. Now, he is going to be hindered in certain areas, but starting at the head can go around 360 degrees. It can wiggle, waggle, up and down, left and right, wherever you want to put it. The bandana also goes around 360 degrees, and it pops off right there. So I wonder, actually, if we bring out the Peter Turtle, if the bandanas can interchange. I know this one can come off as well. So can we interchange the bandanas? And it looks like we can. So yeah, that is a cool little feature. If you want to have the bigger bandana on Peter Turtle, that is cool. And I'm sure the little one can pop onto here without any problem. Let's take a look at that. Yep, there it is. So yeah, that is cool. If you want a smaller looking bandana, that is a cool little interchangeable feature that you could have with your turtles. All right, putting this back to where it belongs, moving down to the neck. The neck can tilt forward and backward, left and right, and you do get 360 degrees of tilt in there, so that is cool. Coming to the shoulders. Now, these are really neat shoulders. They start off small up at the top and then grow exponentially down here at the forearm. So that gives you kind of like a little, I don't know, crab kind of thing going on. But there you go. It comes up and then back down, and it goes around 360 degrees there. Coming down to your elbow bend, and that gives you a nice 90 degrees. Don't know how they did that, but yeah, it's 90 degrees there. Probably because the forearm was built so large that it is 90 degrees. And that is also built into a forearm rotation, 360 degrees there. And that will bring us down to his huge honkin' open hands, which are 360 degrees around. And you have some hinges in and out, up and down, wherever you have them, you know, positioned. The midsection is not articulated at all. There is no waist or ab crunch, so it can't do anything with that. Coming to the legs, legs can barely move forward, can't really move back because this huge shell gets in your way, but you do get some out a little bit to the side, 360 degrees all the way around for thigh rotation or leg rotation, however you want to put it. He does not have a knee bend. His knee is basically this knee pad right here, and it doesn't move. So that's pretty much all you're getting until you get down to the foot, and the foot can hinge down a little bit and up back to where it was, and it can tilt around 360 degrees for his feet. So you're not getting any pivot there or anything like that. You're just getting up and down, and it rotates around. So that's not too bad. And finally, like the Peter Turtle, he does have a 360 degree tail rotation like such, and it does kind of tilt up and down, left and right, wherever you want to put it. All right, and that is going to be Kevin Turtle's articulation. There is a lot of neat stuff here, and even though he doesn't have any knees, he can kind of move around and get them in some cool poses if you're so inclined to do so. So yeah, I wouldn't want this thing to come after me in any way. All right, that is going to be your articulation for the Kevin Turtle. Moving on. And for accessories, starting with the alternate heads, both turtles come with awesome alternate heads. Taking a look at Peter's alternate head first, it is nice. You got the same type of mask, and the only difference is you have an open mouth now. He is angry. This is the angry head. The eyes are pretty much the same. They've always been angry, but now he's gritting his teeth and you can see them. Arrgh. Coming around to the back, you still got the same design for the bandana, and it still goes around 360 degrees and can be switched out for Mr. Kevin's bandana. bandana if you're so inclined. And take a look at Kevin's head. Again, pretty much the same when it comes to like the design and the eyes and stuff, but now he has a halfway opened mouth on both sides, which became a very cool classic trademark of the Turtles, their original toys, and depending on which turtle you had would depend on which side of their mouth was open, and that was pretty neat. And this is cool. Again, same articulation as on the original head. Bandana can go around 360 degrees, and you could pop these on and they can be angry turtles. Grrr! Which really best describe them if you read the original comic book, because they were not your happy, pizza-loving, friendly Ninja Turtles. They were very violent. And since we're swapping heads, if you want to see something silly, how about reversing the heads on the bodies? That doesn't look too bad. Actually, it could be something that they could have gone with, because the bigger head does look alright on the Peter Laird body. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I don't know about the smaller head on the Kevin Eastman body, but it could work. And for the next turtle accessories, you have these weapon holding hands, which will make this set a lot more useful, because really you couldn't do anything with those open palmed hands that they come equipped with. But now with these specially molded hands, you can actually hold their weapons, and that is going to be very beneficial because we have a lot of weapons to take a look at. So let's get to it. And the first Ninja Turtle weapon we're going to take a look at is this baton. They do have a single baton amongst the two of them, and it looks like it's done in a nice white plastic to be wood grain. And you got some tune lines on there to make it look wooden, and you got a handle here, and they can hold this, attack with this in different ways with different parts of the baton. I like the way this looks and how they could utilize it. Alright, what else do they got here? And the next weapon the Turtles have is a bow staff, and it's really nicely done. It's 6 1/4 inches long. It's done in white to be wooden again. It has the tune lines on there, and what's interesting is the wrap that's usually in the middle has been moved down to one end, and it's nicely done with some lines on it, and the Turtles can hold this and attack with this if they were so inclined. And yeah, it's pretty neat. Alright, that is a bow staff. And the next ninja weapon that we have are a set of classic sais, and these sais are beautifully done. They're nice white bladed, and you got a sharp point here at the tip, and then you have two other points coming out to the sides. Those are really nice. You got some beautiful red handles with some line work on them, and the end of the sai looks like you would have something for it to hang somewhere, but it's just a solid piece. Even though there's a little circle there, it looks like it could be mounted somewhere, but it's not. And these are of good thickness, and they feel very sturdy. I don't think these are going to be breaking anytime soon, and both of the Turtles can hold these and fight with these, and you can't have Ninja Turtles without sais. And moving our way up the bladed weapon list, we have a pair of katanas, and these are very nicely done katanas. They're very long, and you have a little bit of chip in the blade to denote that they are worn and used, and they look really nice. Nice curved blade here, coming down to a red hilt with some diamond pattern in the handle, and that is really cool. Now, the ends of these swords are punched out, so the hole is there, so if you have something you want to hang these on, you can, and that is really cool. And both of the Turtles can hold on to these and chop with these and slash with these. These are just some awesome weapons. My favorite weapon of all the Ninja Turtles. So that is really, really cool. And next up for the Ninja Turtle weapons, you have two pairs of these things. Now, there is no attachments to the ends, so these are not nunchucks, I would say. But if I had to guess, I would say that these were pairs of Eskrima sticks, and they're nicely done. You can see that there are two in each, and they are molded in as one piece. You have white paint at the ends with some red in the middle. You got some nice tune lines there, and on the back of each, you do have a little clip section. And what this clip section does is it clips into the wristband of the Ninja Turtles, or the bracelet, or whatever it is, and it slides right in there, and they could wear this on the side of their forearm. And yeah, it's just something that sits there, and I don't know if it's very practical or not, because it looks like it would be very cumbersome, but you know, it may serve as some armor if somebody hits them there, because it might block some damage. But that is going to be my guess for what these are. 2 pairs of Eskrima sticks. So yeah, they don't come apart, which I think would be cooler if they did, but whatever. Alright, let's see what else we got. And finally, we have a lot of nunchuck accessories. So first off, we have 2 pair of nunchucks, and they're really nicely done. Nice thick handles are done in red, and you got a real chain on here. Got 2 of these, which are really cool. The turtles can hold on to these and attack with these. Always fun. But if you want to store them, then you have 2 closed sets of nunchucks, sort of like the Eskrima sticks, if that's what they were. And they, like the Eskrima sticks, if that's what they were, have little clips on the back of them, and they can plug right into the wristbands like the Eskrima sticks could, if that's what they were. And that looks pretty nice, and they could sit all comfortably there. And finally, we have a complex nunchuck accessory, which is 1 handle with a spinning effect type nunchuck, like the one that came with Michelangelo, but this is done in a nice red, and they could both hold on to this and give it that cool little spinny effect. And that is just really, really neat. And yeah, so obviously the guys who made this set likes nunchucks, because that is a lot of nunchucks for these guys. But you know, you can never have too many nunchucks to go to town with, I suppose. And that is going to be the totality of the Ninja Turtles weapons accessories. Moving on. And for comparison through, shall we say, evolution, we have the 2 original turtles that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird both created. Taking elements from both of these turtles, we come to the Sketch Turtle. And this is where we begin the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic series. And it was very good, and it spawned the cartoon, and from the cartoon we got this little fellow, and as an evolution to this little fellow, years later we get the remastered version, which has different articulations and skin tones. But ultimately, I believe the Super 7 Ninja Turtles was the epitome of evolution for the original toy line. However, the toy line, being good as it was just a pale imitation of what it could be, based on the cartoon, which would be the Neca Toon Turtle. And that is what we all hoped to have growing up as a kid, and what we saw on TV, ultimately mutating into the Ninja Turtle from the movies. Now, you could go on and on about what came next in the line and the different versions, but I believe this is a great group of where we came from and where we're going. And that's your comparisons. Moving on. And this has been the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the First Turtles black and white variant 2-pack. And this is an awesome set of turtles. If you've ever wanted to take a time machine back to 1983 and see what the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle concept art looked like, then here you go, in action figure form. I just think that this is such a fun, unique set that any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collector should have it in their collection. Taking a moment to talk about the figures themselves, there's not much when it comes to paint. Obviously, they're white and black and red. That's about it. But I think that gives these figures a unique feel and just look about them that it's like really strange when you're sitting here playing with them. It's almost like you're trying to manipulate a drawing. The accessories are cool. You got all the standard Ninja Turtle weapons plus additional ones that came with the concept ideas. And it's never bad to have additional weapons and accessories. Only problem is there's not anywhere to stick them in these versions of the turtles. These turtles don't have belts or sheaths or holders, except for the small little indention in their wristbands where you could clip the nunchucks or the screama sticks, if that's what they are. So no complaints about the accessories. Articulation was okay, kind of limited with the Kevin turtle because he has no knees, but the Peter turtle was great, and if I had to choose my favorite, I think I would definitely go with the Peter turtle, because I think the Peter Laird turtle has more of what the Ninja Turtles grew into. And just the design of Peter Turtle was a little more interesting, I think, especially with the ornate nature of his shell and all the different sections it had on it. But don't get me wrong, both of these turtles are really cool and awesome to play around with, and I am happy to add them to my collection because I think this is such a unique collection, or two-pack, that a lot of people would want to have the origins of the turtles. As a matter of fact, there were toy companies the last few years putting versions of these out, and right now you can still find them on eBay going anywhere between like $500 to $2,000. It's that crazy. But I think Neca did help a lot of collectors out by putting out these versions, whether you want the black and white version here or the colored version that you could have got from the Neca store or the comic conventions. Personally, again, I still think based on what these figures are meant to represent, the black and white version is the best way to go here. This looks phenomenal, especially against this backdrop that comes in the box with the turtles. This is just a cool little thing. It looks like a picture from a comic book when it's actually action figures that you could put on your bookshelf or around your office or something, because this is a really eye-catching pair of toys. And that's pretty much all I can say about these two. Now, if you are looking for these, they are on the shelves right now, and you can find them at your local retailers, and they will go for approximately $60. If you're looking for the colored ones, the green and red ones, then you're going to have to go to your online retailers and secondhand markets to try to find those, and they will probably go for a little more, maybe about 100, 150. But these black and white ones are just as awesome as any of the green ones can be, in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, and it's your collection, so more power to you. Alright guys, that's it. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And before I leave you tonight, I just want to remind everyone that right now over at Bots and Books, we are having our 800 subscriber giveaway, in which we are giving away an awesome McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Action Comics Superman. Yes, this is the repaint of the Action Comics 1000 Superman, but this has the cloth cape with a cool yellow S on the back and the smaller typographed S on his chest. So I encourage you to go over to Bots and Books, watch that video, leave me a like and a comment on that video telling me you want to enter the giveaway, and next Sunday the 26th we will be doing the drawing for that awesome figure. So I hope you take advantage of that opportunity, and I also hope you have a good night, and until next time, keep playing.